Hi and welcome to another Bloom 360 session. In this video what we're going to be looking at is a special plugin called Yoast SEO. Now the point of SEO, search engine optimization, and I guess the point of your website also, is to attract people to your website. And that can be for a variety of reasons. You could be running a blog and you just want people to read it, or you can be selling products and you want people to buy them. There's a whole host of reasons why you would want to bring people to your website. Now, the main way that people bring guests to their website is through Google, and a whole art and science has evolved to that end, and people have become professionals in finding ways to game Google, or to manipulate Google, or to just do their very, very best within the framework or rules that Google has set to bring themselves to the top of their Google rankings. Now, what I mean when I say Google rankings, sorry if this is all a little bit basic for you, but I think if we lay a framework, then we'll all be on the same page. Alright, so let's for example say that I want to put some new tyres on my car. So I'll say tyres Sydney, and this is a Google search. Okay. Alright, so we can see that after I search for tyres Sydney, a few things have been presented on the screen. We have these results here, and they're marked with a little orange ad. These paid results. These people have paid to be here. Okay. The second thing that's presented is a map. Now this is Google showing me all of the businesses that they have on record that are in Sydney and have something to do with tyres, and that's generally pretty good. All right, so the third thing that we have here is what's called the organic results, and I'll explain why they're called organic in just the next little while. But you can see here that there's a name of the business or name of the page, there's a URL here, and my search terms have been highlighted. Tyres and Sydney are highlighted in both. Okay, now SEO would, so assuming that I have a website that is about selling tyres in Sydney, if I was doing my SEO, search engine optimization, correctly, my pages would all have tyres and Sydney in them a lot, so that Google knew that my website was about tyres in Sydney, and it would have those terms on every page, so that it would really do a good job of telling Google, hey, I'm about tyres in Sydney, and if anybody searches for tyres in Sydney, you should send them to me. That's the best explanation for this that I can give you. So going back to our website, a plugin that we tend to use a lot, and if you've done business with us, you'll have it installed on your website, and if you haven't done business with us, you should install Yoast SEO, because it does do a very good job. This plugin helps you formulate your keywords, and formulate these page titles, and formulate these bits of text, and all of these points together should help you bring more people into your website. Should. There's no guarantees in search engine optimization. Like I said to you, it's a bit of an art and a science. It's a bit of both. Nobody makes any guarantees, but it should help, and we found that it generally does. Alright, so what we might do is we'll do a bit of work with our cool new page. We'll do a little bit of search engine optimization for it, and what we're going to need to do to start the work is go into the back end. Now we're going to not just go into the back end, but we're going to go into the edit of this screen. Okay, so let's click the edit page button, and I'm already logged in, so I have that black menu and I've got the edit page link. Alright, so we are presented with our WordPress Visual Composer screen. Now just to take the example further, what we'll do is we'll search engine optimize our cool new page and make it about selling tyres in Sydney. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a title, give the page a title that helps us sell tyres in Sydney. So let's call it all about tyres in Sydney. Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, so the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to change this URL here right now the URL to this page is our domain name and then our cool new page. What's going to be better is if we change this URL to be something about selling tyres in Sydney. So let's click this edit button, and it allows us to change it, and we'll just call it all about tyres. Get rid of that cursor in Sydney. And now you don't have to do anything special with this. WordPress will fill in all the blanks and get rid of the capitals, and we'll turn it into a nice little URL, and you can see it's there. Okay, so we're doing pretty well so far. Alright, the next thing that I would do is I would come into this text and I would rewrite it, and I would rewrite it in such a way that it mentions tyres, Sydney, wheels, cars, anything that people might search for often. Now don't write garbage text. Don't just write tyres in Sydney, tyres in Sydney, tyres in Sydney. All work and no play makes Jack a good boy. Make it sensible, and that's going to do better for you. Remember, Google's very smart. If they see tyres in Sydney repeated 100 times down the page, they're going to think that something's up, and their computers will say, no, we don't like that page, and they'll actually drop you. That's where the art and the science comes into all this SEO stuff. Google's very clever, and they can spot tricks, and if they spot a trick or they sniff a trick on your webpage, then they will actually decrease your rankings. So any funny plan you might read about or come up with on your own as to how you can raise up through your Google rankings, just be careful. Just be careful, because Google will take out the ban hammer, and they will quite happily get rid of you from the search results entirely if that's just how they feel on that particular day. Anyway, so getting back to what I was saying, rewrite the text so that it's got tyres in Sydney through it, at least in it somewhere, and save it like that. Alright, so let's get back to what we were actually coming into this video for, and that's Yoast SEO. And here around the bottom of our page we've got this little box here. Okay, this box does a few things. It's got some tabs that we won't go into in this video. We're just trying to keep it nice and simple, and just give you a bit of a heads up on SEO stuff. And you'll notice that the first thing, it's a snippet preview, and what this does is this gives you a simulation of what Google's going to be showing. You'll notice that we've got some blue text in big, and then we've got a green URL, and then we've got some text here as well. And let's go back to our Google search, and that's exactly how it looks here. Okay, so what the plugin is doing is it's showing you how the end result is going to look on Google. Now, so you'll notice that our URL isn't updated yet, so we'll just click on update, and we should find that fixes itself up. And we'll just wait for the page to refresh. Okay, just alright, so you can see that we've got all about tyres in Sydney as our new URL. All about tyres in Sydney is our page title. We're looking pretty good. If we're trying to bring in people for tyres in Sydney, then we're doing pretty well. Alright, so focus keyword is the second thing. Now, there's much debate as to whether this actually does anything for you anymore. Google doesn't look at it a lot anymore, mainly for the fact that people would just write tyres in Sydney and just write it 100 times and play tricks like that, and so Google doesn't think it's very important anymore. I would just put it in and just keep it simple, and just make it terms that your page actually does work with, tyres, wheels, Sydney, and leave it at that. Okay, don't get too tricky. Alright. Okay, so now what it's doing is it's saying, hey, your keywords aren't in the heading, they're not in the page title, they're not in the page URL, they're not in the content, and they're not in the meta description. Alright, so let's get rid of wheels, do what it says. Okay, so now it's a bit happier. Alright, so it's in the heading, it's in the page title, it's in the page URL, it's not in the content. Yeah, we never ended up putting up tyres in Sydney in the content. And then it's the meta description. Okay, so we're going to fix these two problems. Well, we'll fix one of them anyway. And we'll fix the last thing as well. The SEO title is probably the most important field out of all of these. It's really the one that you should pay most attention to. Google puts the most weight on it. What it does is, if let's view our page. So I'll just open this up in a new tab. Alright, so we've got our title here, but what else there is this title here in this tab that you can see. Now Google really likes this tab. Google really likes the title in this tab, and it's this field here that allows us to set it. The reason that Google likes it a lot is because there's a character limit, and there's very limited possibilities for us to game this field or the text that's in this tab. But there are possibilities here. So there are things we can do. So we do want to have tyres in Sydney. Sydney, and we'll imagine that our business fits tyres, and it fits them while the person's waiting there in the shop. Fitted, wow, whoops, come on, while you wait. Okay, and that's pretty good. And so that means that this tab up here is going to say tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait. And you can see now that Google is also has updated, and it's saying fitted while you wait. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What that's done now is, so think about it. If somebody's going looking for tyres in Sydney, and they're looking through these results here, if they see tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait, and that's what they're looking for, then that's exactly what they're going to click on. And you can see that some of these other companies have done the same thing. Cheap tyres and used tyres in Sydney, so that's their shtick. Tyres Sydney, this is buy tyres in Sydney online with Jack's Tyres, so they've put some words in there as well. These people here, Blair's Tyres, they've actually put the suburbs that they service, which is a good idea, because if somebody's searching for tyres in Peakhurst, then these people will come up. They'll come up before these guys will, in theory. So there's lots of things that you can do. Alright, so this last field that we've got here, the meta description, what this is this bit of text here. And theoretically this doesn't actually do much for you in terms of Google rankings, but what it does do, what it will do, is if you're number one and if say your number 2 result, and the person is umming and ahhing over who they're going to click, this first guy or you, if your text here is more informative or ticks the right boxes or just says the right thing to the potential visitor, then they're going to click on you based on the strength of this text here. So it's a good idea to get it right. It might not do anything for you immediately with your Google rankings. It might not put you from number 2 to number 1, but it can potentially have people click on you. So so let's fix that up. Where your number 1 stop for tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait. And we're looking pretty good. Okay, so you can see here, it's tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait. We're your number 1 stop for tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait. Now, if I was spending more time on this, I'd make this description a little bit better, but you get the idea anyway. There is a specific number of characters, a character limit here. You can see you've got 156. If you go over that, all it's going to do is it's just going to chop it off when you get to Google, so you haven't done anything. So I would suggest very strongly keeping within that limit. That's the basics of Yoast SEO. Let's just set these last 2 reds into green, because we do like completeness. So our meta description doesn't have our keywords in it, so yeah, we'll just fix that up. There's an extra space. Okay, so tyres in Sydney is definitely in the meta description now, so it's happy. And in the content, we need to put it in, so we'll just put this. We'll just fix up this content, because sometimes this plugin's a bit smarter than we are. So it's good to do what it says. Tyres in Sydney fitted while you wait. Okay, so if I click on Save Changes now, and what it's going to expect is that we click on Update, And once we've done that, that red should turn into green. In theory. We'll just wait for the screen to update. And we've got all greens up and down the board. Okay, so that's it. That's WordPress SEO by Yoast. If you do those things, then you're going to, well, like I said, there's no guarantees, but you're definitely putting your best foot forward. Just do remember the most important thing out of all of these is your SEO title. Do make it good, make it count, and yeah, these few little things should make you stand out from the crowd enough so that it brings in extra people. Well, that's it for this e-session. If you have any questions, and I'm sure there are a lot of them because like I said, SEO is a very complicated subject, and there is a lot of debate surrounding all of the points that I've spoken about. If you have any questions, hit us up here at Bloom360, and otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks very much. Goodbye.